It should be obvious to anybody watching that this society is coming to its end. This culture is pretty much dead, and the people therein are in for a reckoning of sorts. It's quite obvious to me. I don't know how anybody else sees it, but to me, and of course, this is my opinion, so bear with me. You have Ukraine and Russia. Now you have Israel, Hamas. You have China, Taiwan. You have all these other players, right, in and around the Middle East who have to take sides, as well as Africa. You have the US printing pallets of money and just dumping it on whoever they feel like at the expense of who else but the American people, right? Because why not? Fuck you. Right? They don't give a shit that you're gonna be in generational debt. You, your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren. Yeah, just keep the printing press running and you will pay for it some way, somehow. That's the rationale. On top of that, right? Not to mention the wars and the cast of characters involved, even at home, we can't just, seem to get along with each other. That's a bigger part of the problem. Yeah, wars and stuff are bad, but when you can't get along with the people right here with you, that's a whole different level of problem. So not only are they just printing money, throwing it around like, idiots in a strip club, they're letting people in through the border, no security checks, just come on through. No problem. We'll take care of you. On top of that, you have women just basically doing what they want. Now, it's understandable, there's some women that want to be independent, there's some that don't want to have children, some that want to pursue their careers, etc., etc. Okay, all of that is understandable. However, you have to know your place and you have to just understand simply the only way that this so-called patriarchy that you keep going on about, oh, the patriarchy is keeping me down, the patriarchy. If it wasn't for the patriarchy in place, you'd have been destroyed ages ago. Shit, we would have been destroyed ages ago. That's because there's order, and that's just the order of the day. If you want to make it very, very, very technical, let's go back to the garden, shall we? Who was fooled? Was it Eve or was it Adam? You see, the serpent couldn't even come at Adam. Couldn't try him. Why? He got the commands straight from God. He's like, yeah, I can't, there's no way for me to get in between that relationship. He already know. I can't go at the man. I can't do it. All that time, Adam must have been there on his own. Never tried him. Here comes Eve into the picture. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try her. So in order to destroy the man, you have to destroy the woman, and that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing how women been destroyed by feminism, by all these talking points about, you know, male and masculine toxicity, the patriarchy, all these things. Like, yo, okay, no, not everybody had, some kind of ravenly good upbringing. Some of y'all parents were shit, and that's understandable. Some of y'all parents were good, others, did the best they could, some were uneducated, all these variables that's involved. But once you get to a certain age and you understand, right? I remember telling people, like, always pay attention to the posters behind me. I mean, I know they're not up now, but, the Matrix and the They Live posters that when I'm on camera, you see them, right? Remember these two things. They're run by real people that want control at the end of the day. So if you allow these very few people to control you, then that's pretty much what it comes down to. You tell women, oh, if you dress this certain way, then you are bringing out certain characteristics or saying something about yourself. Oh no, I'm doing it for me. This is how I want to dress. This pastor on screen is in hot water for what he said, and that's actually why I have him up, because I'm gonna allow him to say what he had to say, and you tell me at the end, what do you think is so wrong with it? Now, mind you, this is just on the home front. This is just personal, on a personal level, like you and your woman, or you and your wife, whatever the case is. And he said this just, about dating and everything else, and the women had to get their panties in a bunch. Like, come on, man. The truth is the truth, facts are facts, and people need to stop really, playing these games like they don't know what time it is. But let me let the pastor drop it down for you, and you tell me what you think in the comments section.
I'm so sick of women talking about all he wants is sex. What you thought we was here for? A man does not want sex, a man needs sex. Yeah, right. And there's a difference. For 1 milliliter of sperm is between 50 and 200 million sperm cells in 1 milliliter. There's a potential between 50 million and 200 million people swimming around in 1 milliliter. Come on. And God has created a man to dispel that seed. Furthermore, it's the woman who has to take a hiatus off every month from sex, not the man. A man can stay on from the time he living to the time he dies. What I'm trying to tell you is, if you put a worm in the water, if you put a hook in the water, you don't put no worm on it, you don't get no fish. If you got to put on y'all breasts, booties, thighs, lips, that's the worm on the hook. The first thing we see when you see you, ain't no man in history ever saw a woman across the room and said, oh my God, her heart is sparkling. Every man is attracted to a woman sexually. Uh-oh. It's your job to show him that there's more to you than what's on the hook. It's your job to show him that you got something in between your ears. It's your job to show him that you're not as easy like everybody else. How do y'all want us to do the work for you? I just want a man to see me for my inside, but you're going to be waiting for the rest of your fool life, because ain't no man going to see you for your inside till you show him the inside. We are attracted to a woman for what we see. Period, point blank. Get over it. Y'all come out slinky, pasties on here and all this stuff, and then don't want nobody to look at you, don't want nobody to sexually objectify you. Why? Amen. What you thought we was going to do? What you put it on for if you want to be objectified by? If you don't want to be identified by your breast and your tail and all that stuff they do, why are you advertising it? And then
Did you hear that? If you don't want to be objectified, then why are you advertising yourself? All you have to do is go on Instagram and just go to the search icon. Just go to it. You don't have to type anything in. Just go to it. I go to mine, all I see is a bunch of scantily clad women. And I know a large number of them do not have on any undergarments. None. That means no bra, no panties. They have these dresses. I don't know where they be getting these dresses from. I don't know who's selling them, what brand they are. But, I mean, it leaves absolutely nothing to the imagination. And you can tell when they have no drawers because, I mean, that part of their hip is open. It's not a nude thong or is it nothing. Nada. And you're outside in public. How is it exactly that you want to be viewed by this sort of representation? And you're independent. Okay, so, all right. Do you expect somebody to be making a certain amount of money to approach you when you look like that? Yeah, probably for a one-night stand because they'll think you're a prostitute. And that's usually how these women get treated, but then they're mad. If you are dressed like that in the streets and the guy sees, the first thing is like, oh yeah, she's probably working. Men have these discussions. I don't know what to tell people anymore, man. I really can't like put this energy, on repeat to say the same thing over and over again. If Jesus the Christ himself don't want these hoes saved, why am I trying so hard? And let's be honest, it's not just the women, right? How many of you saw this video with Funny Marco and what is his name? Southside and the one that's on his way to prison, G Herbo. This is exactly this from the male side. These guys, like, how do you go on a show, right? Before the show even starts, before you even get into the show, the first thing, G Herbo, oh, I ain't get paid yet. And what's up with this jacket? Blah, blah, blah. Like, yo, bro, if you went on a set of white people's show, like a show that's carried on television, do you think you could be able to act like that? Like you went on one of those legacy TV shows, like what, Channel 4, Channel 5, even Martha Stewart, right? Martha Stewart, she has Snoop, coming on it. Like, you think with that attitude you could go to a legacy media show where you would obviously, do well because it has a broad audience, but you think you could go there and act like that? So I'm not just saying it's with the women. Yeah, the women are a problem because they're being destroyed in order to destroy the men. But these young guys with money, don't forget, you can be a simp and an idiot and have money, right? Because these guys in the industry, it's obvious that they're not smart. They're not smart. They're not well educated. They're not intellectual. I'm pretty sure the majority of them haven't read a thing, right? Southside, he can put some beats together. His face is covered in tattoos. I mean, who tattoos their face? As far as we know, the only people that tattooed their face was MS-13, right? And that's from way back when. And dudes that caught a body, which always was to me like the dumbest shit that you could do. Because if you caught a body, why would you tattoo it on your face where everybody can see it? That nigga, police can see it too. You want, okay, the ops to know, yes, but police can see those tears too. So to me, that was always dumb. I never got it. But then again, what is gang culture? But a circle of stupidity, right? And most of these guys, they end up snitching. They work with police anyway. I don't care how big the name is. They snitching. They talking to the feds so that they keep on, skating, doing what they doing. That, trust me. Yeah. We've seen enough of the back and forth to know that no matter what level they're at, it's for the birds. It's not worth it. So on every level, both the men, the young men, the women, the young women have all kinds of issues. Then to compound that, you have situations like this. How many of you heard about this bullshit right here? So the EU commissioner, Theory, I guess that's how you say that, Theory Breton, posted an open letter on X on October 10th in which he warned Musk that the EU had indications that X was being used to disseminate illegal content and disinformation in the EU, and reminded Musk of the DSA's very precise obligations regarding content moderation. Now, this is from the EU. You see, this is why when you have all these YouTubers who are American, and America's this, America's that, it's a great country in the world, blah, 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 blah. How does the EU even have the balls to send something like that to Elon Musk? This is an American-run business. Am I mistaken in that? Whether he's Australian, European, or whatever, he operates his business here, right? So for all intents and purposes, Tesla, all that, right? American. So how does the European Union get the gumption to post this to Elon Musk? Like, the response should have been a pair of lips and, him with his pants down, like, basically, Yeah, can you add those to my pair of lips and my ass? That's, yeah. This is what I want you to do. They're basically telling this guy that this is a warning. What does that mean? For all those that, oh, free speech, and you have these people telling them what to do. And it's not just Musk. They sent one to Meta, right? Mark Zuckerberg, and I expect that they've sent it to, everybody else. That not just them, Snap as well. This is where we are. So we're in a situation where these world powers are telling social media corporations, hey, this is the one time, right, where they actually want to control what they're saying. Before, they would use the government, to try to hide stories, this, that, and third. Now the people are just free to post what they want, especially after everybody on Twitter was booted for the most part, and then Elon took over. Now I said, well, we need you to moderate this more closely because when stories were being hidden during the election, you didn't give a shit. So why do you care now? Is anybody asking themselves that question? The people with the power are going to try to control what you see, what you listen to, what you hear, what you take in. Right? They're going to kind of control people like Jordan Peterson, right? We've seen them attempt to do that with his, issues in Canada. Um, Russell Brand, he has some allegations against him, right? I even heard they're going after Joe Rogan. So just admit it to yourself. This society, is dead. It's dead or it's dying. It's like the last few beeps. How long will those last few beeps last? I don't know. I can't really be sure. But it is getting to the point of that big R word. It is. I can see it because I know that there's certain people that is going to rub the wrong way, and they're going to galvanize most likely a grassroots movement. And it's going to start from there. I can see it because I've seen these things happen before, right? I've seen it happen before. How many of you remember Occupy Wall Street? Remember that? It will come to a point, right? There's always a tipping point. It's all, something happens in the public, and some people are like, you know what? Fuck this bullshit. I'm tired of this shit. I'm quitting my job. Yeah, it's time to get active. It's getting there again. And I don't care what they put out there. There's going to be some sort of hell to pay, some sort of retribution. Which is why, you have to get on code. At least start at home. Start with your mate at home, with your wife, your girlfriend. At least if you could be on code in that small sense, then when bigger things happen, you'll be able to attack it together instead of having to do it separately. That's pretty much my message. Things are on a downward spiral in every aspect. Women don't want to take direction, but eventually you have to. Eventually you gotta give somewhere, and it's rather you give to someone, giving to someone than to a complete stranger who probably just most likely wants to destroy you and see you turn into ether. So there's also that. I think that's it. Obviously, there's always more to come. There's so much on my mind right now, but of course, if you want to stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. That's the most important thing you can do. Be sure that you're subscribed. Hit that all notifications bell. Of course, like the content, share it with everyone you know. And until next time, I'm out. Stay safe out there. Peace. Love and hair grease.